Hi soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to cut and sew this beautiful gown I am putting on with a detachable sleeve, as you can see. So this particular dress was inspired by this dress on my right hand side, and this is the one I recreated, this one on this side and this one I am putting on. So it's actually a sleeveless dress. I decided to sew a detachable sleeve to it, so you can decide to wear it like this without the sleeve, and also you can also decide to wear it like this with the sleeve, as you can see. So this depends on what you want. If this is something you're interested in, then sit back, sip your wine as you watch this video. As you're watching this video, please don't forget to like it, comment on it, share it with your friends, your co-fashion designers, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. These are the materials I'm going to be using for the making of this dress. This material is called Ankara fabric, and I have about 5 different designs for the making of this dress. You can make use of 4 designs or 3 designs depending on what you want. Each of this fabric is 1 yard per design. Apart from this particular one that is not up to 1 yard, this is just like a leftover fabric, and I'm just going to say half yard. In conclusion, the total amount of fabrics I have here is about 4 yards and half. Okay, so these are the materials I'm going to be using. So the first thing I want to do now is to draft the upper part of this dress on my pattern paper. So I'll go ahead and mark a straight line across my pattern paper. This line is going to be serving as the shoulder line or the starting line. I will place my tape on this shoulder line. I will mark my bust point, which is 11 inches, my under bust 14 inches, then my half length is 16 inches. But I'm not going to be using 16 inches for this dress. If you check the inspiration dress, you're going to see that the half length of the dress is a little bit longer than the normal half length we are used to. What I'm going to be doing now is to add extra 1.5 inches to my front half length. So my front half length is 16 inches. 16 plus 1.5 inches is going to give me 17.5, which is 17.05. So that is what I'm going to be marking here. Then I'll also go ahead and repeat all the measurements on this side. So once I'm done, I'll go ahead and connect all the points together, just like as you can see me doing. So after connecting all the points, I'll go ahead and label it: bust point, under bust, and waistline. So I will place my tape on the shoulder. I will mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. Okay, so once I'm done marking it, I will place my tape on that point where I just marked, that 8 inches. I will mark 3 inches towards the front. Whether half of your shoulder measurement is 7 inches or 8 inches, place your tape on the point where you mark and mark 3 inches towards the front. Whatever you have left is going to be the width or the wideness of the neckline of your dress. Now for the depth, I will place my tape on the shoulder line. I will mark 6.5 inches downward. Okay, I mark 6.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and place my French curve like this and connect it like a curve, because if you check the dress, you are going to see that the dress does not have a v-neck, and the neck is not also a round neck. I think the name of the neckline is called a scope neckline. In case I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me at the comment section. So if I'm correct, also let me know that I'm correct. So I will place my tape on the neckline like this. I will come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. Then I will connect it onto the neckline like this. Then I'll place my tape on the shoulder line. I will mark half of my round armhole measurement. So half of my round armhole measurement is 9.5 inches. Then I'll go ahead and mark it here like this. Then I'll also place the tape at the front and also mark 9.5 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. This is going to be called the chest line. Then I will place my tape on the chest line. I will mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. I will go ahead and connect the points to the shoulder slope line, okay, like this. Then I will place my tape on this around armhole. I will fold my tape into 2 to get the midpoint like this. I will mark it. Then I will place my tape on that point where I just marked. I will mark half inch inward like this. Then I will place my tape on the chest line. I will divide my bust measurement by 4. I will mark it, which is 10 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect the 3 points together using my French curve like this. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark half of my nipple to nipple measurement on my bust point line, which is 4.025. Then I also mark it on the waistline like this. So after marking it, I will go ahead and connect the points together, and that line is called the apex line. So I will place my tape on the bust point line. I will come down by 1 inch. Then I will place my tape on the under bust line like this. I will take my dart. I will mark 1 inch on both sides like this. I will also place my tape on the waistline. I will mark 1 inch to the side front and 1 inch to the center front. I will go ahead and make use of my straight ruler to connect it from here to the under bust. So at this point, I'm going to advise that to make use of your French curve, the curve part of your French curve, just like when you're connecting a breast tube. I could not find my French curve, that is why I am using a straight ruler. So I'll also go ahead and connect from the under bust line to the waistline like this on both sides. Once I'm done marking it, I will go ahead and blend in this part and this part here. Then I will make use of my straight ruler to mark a straight line from the bust point line to that 1 inch I came down by. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and add all my horizontal measurements. So I've already divided my bust measurement by 4 before and I marked it here. Then I'll go ahead and divide my under bust measurement by 4. I will mark it. I will measure the dart I took here. I will also go ahead and replace it on the under bust line. Then I'll also go ahead and divide the waist measurement by 4. I will mark it. I will also measure the dart I took, which is 2 inches. I will also replace it. So once I'm done with that, I will go ahead and connect the points together. After I am done connecting it, I will place my tape on the chest line. I will add 1.5 inch for journey allowance. I will do the same thing for the under bust and the waistline. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this using my marker. Okay. So I'll go ahead and extend the chest line to the new line. Then I'll go ahead and make the hem line more visible like this. Then I'm going to be marking out this part because I'm going to be cutting it out. So what I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and cut it out. Just watch and see the part I'm going to be cutting out. Now for this upper part, I'm going to be having 2 pieces. Okay, one is going to start from the shoulder to the under bust. So I will just go ahead and mark the under bust line with my marker just to make it more visible. Now before I separate the 2 pieces, I will place my tape on the chest line like this. I'm going to be marking my side dart. How to get your side dart measurement? Go ahead and minus your back half length from your front half length. Now my front half length is 60 inches and my back half length is 14 inches. 16 minus 14 is going to give me 2. So I'm going to be using 2 as my side dart. I will place my tape on the chest line. I will mark 2 inches downward. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and connect it onto the nipple to nipple point, which is the apex line. Then I'll go ahead and make the chest line more visible like this. Then I'll mark it out because I'm going to be cutting out this part. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and cut out the band for the waistline. So I'm going to be cutting through the under bust line like this. So I'll go ahead and cut out this dart like this. Okay, just be careful when cutting it out. Then I'll cut it to this apex line. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the side like this. Then I'll pick this down one to cover the dart like this. Just make sure you don't cut out everything so that you'll be able to cover it up. Okay, I will go ahead and use my pin to pin it down. If you have a seal tape, go ahead and seal it down. So by the time I'm done pinning it, you're going to see that the side is not equal, as you can see. So I'll go ahead and use my scissors to trim it out like this. So once I'm done trimming it, I will just go ahead and label it the front yoke. I just want to know that this is the front yoke. Then I'll go ahead and cut out the dart on the waistband like this. I will pick this one. I use it to cover up the waist dart. So I'm going to be cutting one piece for the front, and also I'm not going to be sewing any dart on it. So after pinning it, I will just go ahead and place it together. You can see how they look like. This is the up and the down. I will go ahead and label this piece as the front waistband. So this is it. Now I've gone ahead to draft out the back part of this dress. So I'm going to be explaining to you guys what I did. The first thing I did was to mark in 1.5 inches for zipper allowance. Then I placed my tape on the shoulder line. I marked half of my round armhole, which is my chest line. Then I also placed my tape on the shoulder. Then I marked the back full length. So first of all, my back half length is 14 inches. Then I went ahead to add extra 1.5 inches to it, which now gave me 15.5 inches, and that was what I marked for the back. Remember, I added extra 1.5 inches to the front half length, so that was what I also did for the back. Then I also wanted to mark half of my shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. Then I marked 3 inches inward, and the wideness remained the same. For the depth, I placed my tape on the shoulder and I marked down 1.5 inches. Then I went ahead to connect the points together. That was what I did for the neckline. Then I also went ahead to mark the round armhole. Then I divided my bust measurement by 4. I marked it on the chest line. Then I also divided my waist measurement by 4. After marking it, I marked my nipple to nipple measurement. Then I took half inch on both sides for the waist dart, and I also wanted to replace it just like as I did for the front. So now to remove the zip bulge, I'm going to be placing my tape on this waistline here. I will mark 0.75 inches to this side like this. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and mark a slant line from the neckline to that 0.75 inches I marked. So I'm going to be marking this part because I'm going to be cutting it out. Now to get the wideness of the back waistband, so first of all, go ahead and indicate the part that is going towards the up for the front waistband and the part that is going towards the down. Please, you need to do this to avoid confusion. So I'll go ahead and measure what I have here. So what I have here is about 4 inches. So I'll place my tape on the back like this. I will mark, 3.5 inches. I will mark 3.5 inches on both sides like this. Then I'll go ahead and connect the points together. In case you don't understand what I'm saying, go ahead and watch what I'm doing. You understand. So I will label this part back yoke. I will also go ahead and indicate the part that is going towards the up and the down for the back waistband. Then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Now for the back, I did not add journey allowance at the side. So when I'm cutting it out on my fabric, I'll go ahead and add 1.5 inches for journey allowance as I did for the front. The reason why I did do that was because my pattern paper was not wide enough. Now for the waistband, I'll go ahead and cut out the darts like this. Then I'll use it to close the other side of the dart. I just want to cut out one pieces for the back. I don't want to be cutting out like two pieces, and also I don't want to sew that. So I also go ahead and label it back waistband. Now these are the fabrics I'm going to be using for the dress. This is just me trying to arrange it to know the one that is going to be number 1, number 2, number 3, 4 and 5. So this particular one is going to be the number 1, but it has 2 different designs. So I'm going to be making use of the orange and black color part. So I'll just go ahead and open it up like this. Thank God that the orange part is kind of a little bit wide. Then I'm going to be using this one as the waistband, but to be sincere, I wish I know I would have just made use of this other color as the waistband, okay, on this fabric. I would have just made use of it if I have knew, but anyway, the deed has been done. I will just go ahead and fold it into two, then iron it. Then I'll go ahead and place the front yoke on it like this. After placing it, I'll go ahead and pin it down. So once I'm done pinning it, I'll go ahead and cut it out. Now for the front, I'm not going to be adding any journey allowance around the neckline. I will add half inch around the shoulder. Now for the armhole, I wanted to add half inch, but later on I wanted to cut it out and I regretted it. So I will advise you add your journey allowance around the round armhole, okay? Then for the down part, I'll just go ahead and reconnect this part. Then I will add half inch again for journey allowance. Then I'll also go ahead and cut out the back as you can see me doing. I will add half inch for journey allowance. Then I will not add journey allowance around the neckline. So at the side, I will add 1.5 inch journey allowance, just like as I already told you guys. I didn't add it when I was drafting it. Then the down, add half inch. Now this is going to be used for the waistband, this particular material. So I'll go ahead and fold it into two. Then I'll place my pattern paper on it. Make sure the center front of the pattern paper is placed on the close part of your fabric, okay? So I'll go ahead and pin it down. After pinning it, I'll go ahead and cut out the side. I'll add half inch at the top for journey allowance and half inch at the down. Then I'll go ahead and fold the material into two again. I will pin it on it, then cut out another one. So this one I'm cutting out is going to be serving as the lining. I will also go ahead and cut out for the back. So for the back, I'm going to be cutting out 4 pieces, 2 for the main material, 2 for the lining. Okay, then for the side, I'll also go ahead and add 1.5 inch journey allowance. So guys, I'm done cutting it out. This is the back part and also this is the front part, as you can see. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go ahead and cut out the down part. Remember, I'm going to be joining these 3 beautiful Ankara fabrics together. Now the first thing I want to do is to go ahead and run you guys through the calculation. So on my pattern paper, I will write full length. Now the full length of the gown I'm making is 60 inches. So I'll go ahead and minus my half length from the full length. The half length I used for the upper part, my half length was 60 inches. Then I added extra 1.5 inches to it, which now make it 17.5 inches. Now I'm going to minus half inch for journey allowance. So what I'm going to be having left is 70 inches. Now I'm going to say 60 minus 17 is going to give me 43. Now I'm going to be dividing that 43 by 3 because I'm going to be joining 3 different fabrics together to get the full length of this gown at the down part. Now 43 divided by 3 is going to give me 40.3333. So I will just go ahead and write 40.05. Okay, so this is going to be how wide each of this material is going to be for the journey of the dam. Now I'm going to be starting with the yellow one, then the one with purple, and before the one with orange. Now go ahead and open this one. I will fold it into two. So when you are folding your fabric into two, make sure that the part that has labeled is facing towards one side. I hope you guys understand what I'm even saying. The side that has labeled, like this part here, make sure it's facing, the two sides is facing towards one side. Go ahead and fold your fabric into two. Then I'll place my tape at the top like this. I will measure 14 inches, 14.5 inches. Now instead of marking 14.5 inches, I will mark 15.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and add extra 1 inch for joining allowance. Remember, we are going to be joining it to the waist and joining it to the next part at the down. So you need allowance for that. Else, if you don't add it, your material, your dress might become shorter than what you expected. So once I'm done with that, I will join the points together, then I will cut it out. So once I'm done cutting it out, I will place it on the remaining one and also cut out another one. Then I'll go ahead and fold this other purple material into two. Then I will just go ahead and fold it into two like this so that I can cut everything at once. I will place this one at the top and cut it out. Now for the last part, which is the red color, when cutting it, I will add extra 1 inch to the down part again. Okay, because I'm going to be folding the down part of this one, so I'll be adding extra 1 inch to it. So guys, this is going to be the end of this video. On my next video, I'll be showing you guys how to sew it. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notification, like this video. See you, bye.